Alrighty then, folks. Hello there and welcome back. So we are finally on our last campaign. We are finally on Unicorn. I haven't mentioned it in a while, but there's also the Haros stages. There's 3 of them, but they're just like wave-based things, so I'm not all that keen to do them. I can if you guys want me to. I'll do them after I'll do them after this campaign, since I'll probably be recording that all today. But if you guys want me to, I can. But they're just like defeat 80 enemies. You know, nothing ever happens. Just defend this Haro thing in the middle and defeat 80 enemies in 10 turns or something like that. I played, I think, the first 2 at one point, but a couple of things have changed since the last time. Somebody asked, so I did actually throw both forms of Char onto one team. So possibly, I don't think we ever get to, but we might get to murder Full Frontal with 3 forms of Char. I don't know, I also find that ironic. I upgraded the Gerbera into the Arjarja. We're gonna upgrade this into the Neo Zeong, but that'll be at the end of the campaign. Because, like, I still believe this thing is bullshit. Mainly just because, where is it? This one. No guns. Like, at all. Like, yeah. That's like the best unit in the game. Be honest here. Yeah, so I thought about giving Umbrella a Messer, but I forgot, so we'll deal with that later. And also, to fill in Char's place, I threw in Chirako because, you know, we consider Yazan a Federation poet, so why not Chirako? And he has the Penelope. I had to get the G to level 5. And from the Penelope, we'll probably get the Carl Gustav, but I'll show you all this stuff off. The G is literally like 150,000 monies. P. Yeah, these things are like really expensive, but they have like a ridiculous movement as well. Oh, I haven't actually equipped anything to you yet, have I? Alright, so there's gonna be a random transition there, but basically I just equipped everyone to units, but it took me like 2 minutes, and then I need to change the Arjarja's loadout and everything, so I'll just cut it out if I remember. But yeah, anyway, so we're gonna start Unicorn today. We finished literally everything. Yep. Oh, first off, we really should go down to quests. Since we only have like, oh, well, I could just go to incomplete since we only have like 6 left or something. But yeah, so we've already got Banadger, or Banana Man. We can get Minerva if we want, after we finish it. Yeah, the Nahel Argamon, this one is separate. I'm pretty sure the Raw Callum for Unicorn is separate. And hopefully the General Rebel's in the game. I don't know if it will be, but I hope it is. I like the Dogo Skier, if you forgot. We have to have Banana defeat Merida. That's easy. Day of the Unicorn. Yeah, so we get whoever. The guy's last name is Basilcock. Alright then. We have to add the... Not Granada. I forget what his ship is called. But that'll be annoying. And we have to defeat Full Frontal within 2 turns. Alright then, notice that that doesn't say we have to have Banana Man do it. So, let us begin. Yeah, so I think it'll be like space, space, ground, space, space. Or space, 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 ground, space. And I believe this is in 1997. It's either 97 or 87. The last day in AD. So, okay, if you don't know, colonies are these things called O'Neill cylinders. They're a real actual design that kind of makes sense. The only problem with them is we need something like 130 times the amount of steel that humanity has ever produced to produce one of them. So theoretically they would take something like 28,000 years to build. Assuming we don't start melting asteroids in massive, like, with giant mirrors. That's always a possibility. I'm assuming you guys have all seen Unicorn by now. So, I'm not really gonna worry about spoiling everything. Okay, so they're gonna talk about Raid's family being like this big political family. But you'll notice that a lot of the chairmen of the Federation don't share his name. I know it's been retconned since then, but you'll notice like only one so far has been, and that was the one during Unicorn. So we've never heard of this guy, even though the 4 or 5 times we've had the Prime Minister mentioned. And also of the Universal Century, I believe he actually says something of the Century of the Universe. That's where Universal Century comes from. So it's like they're not contained just to their own history anymore. They're now only contained by the universe. It's said that if we ever wanted to actually unite the world, the first thing that would have to happen was aliens. We'd never do it on our own. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna start going through this faster just because, again, I said it earlier, but I assume you guys have all seen Unicorn already. Alright, so there's no mystery as to what the Lapis box is in this one. They just flat out tell you. Alright. So, Zeon's going to be pulled into the Republic in about, or Zeon's going to be pulled into the Federation in about 4 years. It actually happens in 101 for whatever reason. Well, it was an object he found on. You can't ask us that question after telling us what it was 3 screens ago. I like that picture of the unicorn, though. I wish the overlay wasn't on it. But I have yet to find a way to turn the overlay off. If somebody knows, tell me, because there's some pictures I want to get. And then I'm eventually going to get around to posting them. But I have to figure out Imgur first. Yeah, there's some really good ones that I like that the overlay covers. Like the beginning of Double Zeta. There's one during Stardust, that one. Maybe a couple during Missing Links. I know a lot of people don't like the SD aesthetic, but I kind of do. I don't know. I'm just used to it.
Unicorn no hi.
Oh, that's what it's called. Can't pronounce it, but that's what it's called. I knew it started with the G, but Garuda is the ship, not the ship, the plane thing. You know, remember the plane thing from Zeta? Yeah, I think that one shows up in this one. I think that's the one that they use to carry around the Banshee. We should get one of those again, like upgrade Amuro into a Banshee instead. Or downgrade him, I should say. So, I'm assuming this one goes off the anime and not off the books. You can read the books. I won't say where you can find them, because I think they're taken down from where I read them, but you can get them. They've all been translated into English. I think there was gonna be an official translation of them, but then the company that was gonna do it backed out. Like, yeah, I think they backed out or something like that. And she's also calling herself Audrey Hepburn. Originally, I believe she was gonna call herself Audrey Hepburn, but then, like, they weren't able to get the copyright for the name, or one of their lawyers told them it was a bad idea. Yeah, so you can read the books if you want. I usually say I prefer the books, but I like the anime better than the books in this one. I like the ending in the books more, but that's just because I'm not a big fan of the ambiguous leave it up in the air kind of ending that Gundam loves. The books actually have a concrete ending. But a lot of the books are like, hey, let's have Banana bitch about his feelings, and then, you know, a random fight that doesn't need to be there that's horribly explained. Even in the Japanese, it's like that. Then again, I don't know how you would well explain a giant robot fight. So remember that he won't try to resign for 5 years. Hey, and that's a still from the anime. That's good. Audio-visual claim? Probably. So, that being said, I probably don't control the ads on this. My bad if they're, you know, horrible. Bandai hasn't been doing the 5-minute ads recently, which is nice. Usually it's just one at the beginning, but for a while there, they would put it every 5 minutes. So, like, back when I used to play Gear and Screed a lot, it would be like a 40-minute video would have 8 ads. Ridiculous. So we have to have Banana kill Marita, and then we have to finish Full Frontal off in 2 turns. So they don't really tell you in the anime In the anime, he's implied to be a cyber new type, but he's definitely a normal new type. In the books, he is legit a cyber new type. Like, you flat out have a scene with them testing him. Oh, that being said, the newest book, which would be the sequel to Unicorn, hasn't been translated yet. But it has the rebow in it, so I've read about half of it. I have it, like, right on my desk in front of me. Zinnerman. So, can I spoil full frontal male nudity? Well, I'll do it a little bit later. You're not supposed to find out for, like, till the 4th episode, most likely. Well, the fourth mission. When they're in Pezun. Or Paolu. Paolu, the mining colony, not Pezun, the research and development base on the other side of the moon. Remember, this is also the street in Axis as well. Yeah. This is an Industrial 2, which I believe is inside 1. It's either inside 1 or side 7. I can't exactly remember. Side 7 would make sense, but this is one of the first colonies they started rebuilding since, like, the first restructure after the 1-year war. So you remember how we didn't get anything for Zeta, but then we got a cutscene for a Girzulu being destroyed? We didn't get anything for Zeta or Double Zeta, for that matter. Because I've definitely never seen a Girzulu get destroyed. But fuck, I've seen Camille hit Chirako like once a week for my entire life. Yeah, most most new types are ace pilots if they're in the military, but not all aces are new types. Though apparently Johnny Rin might be one if MSV is canon. It's implied, but we haven't seen it yet. I'm also surprised that security would let him get a gun through. Hey, Lodos. Yeah, so Gale's the pilot of the Silver Bullet. I don't know if he used the funnel test type or not, but I know he's the pilot of the Silver Bullet in the books. I don't know if it was in the new version of the series. I've only seen the OVAs. That being said, Unicorn is like super goddamn popular still in Japan. Like, it knocked Seed off of its pedestal, which Seed was popular for literally like till 2014 or something like that. And I think Kira just got back into the number 8 top anime character. Or something ridiculous like that. Lapis has been off the list since 2010, which I'm happy about. But yeah, like, Unicorn super popular, so is Seed. But that's why they're putting so much into this, whereas they didn't put much into the other ones. Like, even with new translation, a lot of Zeta has flopped. And then Double Zeta's never really been popular. That's just because they tried marketing Zeta to kids again. Yeah. So I'm assuming, like, this is only going to be, like, a battle stage. We're going to have to fight, Merida while we're in the Unicorn. And then Full Frontal will appear. That's why there's so much lead up. Holy shit. I might just cut off all of the lead up and make the actual battle its own episode. So I don't know if we've talked about it, but the reason why everyone has Haro toys is because Amuro made them really popular. But and so I believe it's actually the Vist Foundation that was producing them. Like, they bought the rights to them. And if we believe side stories and we consider them canon, a lot of them have listening devices in them, and the Federation is using it to spy on people. Like, both Amuro's original wasn't because he developed it, but the one Camille gets in Zeta, which was actually Amuro's.
重いぞ。共に行くにはこの世界の重みを受けるか。
自信とか覚悟なんてない。
ならばお前をふさわしい乗り手と判断すれば
ラプラスの箱。
我らがビスト一族を100年にわたり縛りたが、使いようによっては
それは
アンナはこの呪縛にお前を取り込ませたくないと。私、そしてお前も。だが行け。恐れるな。自分の中の可能性を信じて。
そんな今さら勝手ですよ。
許してほしい。お前とはバナー。私の望みは叶ったよ。
父さん。
All right, so the one Amara originally had was picked up by Zeta, by Camille in Zeta. When he went to Granada, he found it in some ruins. That one was eventually taken apart and built into a parrot in Skullheart, I believe.
可能性の獣。
Skullheart being the second crossbone.
父さん、俺は行くよ、オードリー。
Yeah, they mention in, I believe it is Skullheart, that the normal Federation toys have tracking devices in them. Though, I don't know how well they would work in Minovsky land. Yeah. Fun Narudachi.